Jai Hind. Let's understand the geopolitical landscape and the challenges that we as a nation have to face to navigate in the time of conflict and crisis apart from the enemy. Stick around till the end and make sure to hit the subscribe button for more updates right here on Geopolitical Insider by Team MND The Futurists. Now, the International Monetary Fund or IMF has recently approved 2.4 billion financial package for Pakistan. Now this includes 1 billion under the extended fund facility and 1.4 billion under the resilience and sustainability facility aimed at climate and disaster resilience. Now, on the surface, this looks like international cooperation supporting an economically troubled nation. But in the May 9th IMF board meeting, India chose not to stay silent. And rightly so, India raised a pointed, fact-based objection. Pakistan has been a serial borrower from the IMF. In the last 35 years, it has taken IMF funds in 28 of those years. And just since 2019, it has signed up for 4 separate programs. Let that sink in. If the IMF's program had worked, why would Pakistan keep returning for more? Why does its economy collapse repeatedly? The truth is, Pakistan has shown a consistent failure to implement reforms. It accepts funds and then sidesteps accountability. This is not a developing economy at all in need of help. This is a state system that repeatedly exploits global financial sympathy. India didn't stop there. We brought attention to a much deeper threat, one that goes beyond economics. India warned that these funds given without strict checks risk being misused by the Pakistani establishment not for reforms, not for climate, but for funding state-sponsored cross-border terrorism. Yes, terrorism. And the same machinery that has pushed weapons, radicalization, and trained militants across our borders, targeting Indian soil and Indian lives. And let's be very clear, this is not a hypothetical risk. This is a historical pattern. Money flows in, but instead of stabilizing their economy, the funds are rerouted, sometimes directly, sometimes through proxies into activities that destabilizes the region. And India is the first line of impact. So here's what India told the IMF and the world, that enough is enough. If the IMF chooses to support Pakistan, the global community must demand ironical accountability, not just physical audits, but proof that these funds will not be diverted toward activities that harm the regional security. Now, this is not just about IMF money, guys. This is also about how these global institutions unintentionally empower rogue elements by refusing to call them out. The world cannot afford to fund Pakistan's economic failures while it continues to shelter these terrorists, undermining democratic values and target its neighbors through asymmetric warfare. India's message is loud and clear. You cannot buy peace with blind funding. You cannot ignore terrorism and reward the state that enables it. And you cannot expect India to remain silent when our security is threatened by money disguised as aid. At some point, the world must also stop enabling Pakistan's duplicity and start holding it to the same global standards as everyone else. Because peace in South Asia cannot come from only diplomacy alone. It must be backed by honesty, accountability, and above all, courage to speak the truth. That's all from my side on this subject. I hope you find this video informative. Jai Hind and Jai Bharat.